Good morning, everyone. Again, I'm Sergio de la Merced, the Applications Engineer for Design and Manufacturing at Maximum Solutions Corporation. So today, I will be discussing to you the benefits of the nesting and fabrication extension. So last time, no, yung diniscuss natin na extension was the machining extension. So sa webinar na yun, na-discuss natin kung paano na-access yung ating mga extensions. We also had a webinar no, talking about the available extensions for Fusion 360. So today, ang focus natin would be the nesting and fabrication extension. Yan. So before we actually start, for those attendees natin, no, I want you to raise your hand for our attendees if meron na tayong knowledge regarding sa available extensions natin sa Fusion 360 or napanood na yung aming mga previous webinars regarding Fusion 360. Yan, so meron tayo dyan, no? Raise hand sa ating Zoom. So check natin if meron na ba.
Feel free to raise. Ayan, si Sir Rodmar, Sir John.
Yan, nice. Yan. So if you haven't watched yung previous webinars namin regarding yung sa extensions and Fusion 360, you can go ahead sa aming YouTube channel. Just type in Maximum Solutions Corporation dun sa YouTube search bar. At punta kayo dun sa page namin, then click on video. So nandun naman yung lahat. Yan. So let's continue. So ayan, for our agenda for today, I will be giving you an overview of what is the nesting and fabrication extension. And I will be giving you an overall benefits and capabilities na pinaprovide sa atin ng nesting and fabrication extension. Then we will have a customer success story. And by the end of this webinar, we'll be having a Q&A portion. So if you have any questions, you can go ahead and type it now sa Q&A box. Ayan. Yeah, so let's start by a quick review no, sa ating mga extensions. So why do we actually have extensions? So yung extensions natin, ini-extend natin yung platform without needing to install additional software. No? So yung platform is the Fusion 360. So meaning as we have these extensions, we will automatically have these specialized technologies no, in Fusion 360 and eliminate disconnected deployment. So these extensions simplify our manufacturing workflows, improve yung ating operational efficiency by automating and optimizing yung ating mga workflows. And of course, with that, reduce yung ating time to market. Yan. So we can access these extensions through flexible access wherein gagamit tayo ng cloud credits only if we need them. Yan. But also we can access these extensions through subscription. Yan. Yan. So here are the core benefits of the nesting and fabrication extension. So first we have here, no, reduce your programming time. So if we don't have the ability to automate yung ating nesting, it's gonna be very manual, no? So let's say meron tayong isang assembly. So sa assembly na yun, it would contain multiple parts as well as components, and we will have to flat them all out, separate them into materials, different material thicknesses, and then come up with the best orientation, no? So these are very manual, no, and these are very non-value added tasks. So with the nesting and fabrication extension, we can automate all of this. Yan. So we also have here, no, reduce your costs. Yan. So by optimizing yung ating material yield, meaning yung we make the most out of our material, no, by producing many nest studies, so that we will have an idea on what is the best option for us and our design. Yan. So we also have here the ability to compare like material selection so that we can have adjustments as needed. Yan. And of course, minimize rework. No? So yung Fusion 360 ay integrated CAD income na siya. No? So meaning we don't have to go to one platform to another just to finish yung ating job. Yan. So we also have here associative nesting. What this means is that if ever, let's say, meron tayong changes, no? So hindi naman maiwasan yung changes. So let's say meron tayong changes dun sa ating CAD model, and then ang beauty dito with associative nesting is that it will automatically update na yung ating nest by just clicking yung regenerate button, no? So ayun, na-lesson natin yung human error, data loss, and so on. Yan. So, ayan, no, without further ado, let's dive in sa ating video demonstration. Yan. Yan. So, let's say meron tayong assembly here. Yan. So, itong assembly natin would contain multiple components as well as parts, no? With multiple sheet metals and so on. So, itong assembly na to, gagawan natin siya ng nesting as well as CAM programming, no? Ayan. So dito pa lang sa design workspace natin, makikita natin na as we go dito sa tools tab natin, makikita natin that we have the ability to nest or to prepare na yung nest natin, no? So we can ignore those sheet metal sketches or selected entities, or we can manually ignore those components by just going here and then clicking ignore, no? Ayan. And so we have a full control kung ano ba yung gusto nating i-nest sa ating nesting and fabrication. No? Ayan. So kapag okay na yung nest preparation natin, we can go to the manufacture workspace. So dito sa manufacture workspace, no, as we go dito sa fabrication tab, makikita natin na meron tayong component sources. Yan. So yung component sources, dito natin nilalagay yung gusto nating include sa ating mga nest. No? So makikita natin here na as we click, let's say for instance, this component, no? As we click this one, makikita natin na meron na tayong preview na ipapakita yung Fusion 360. Yan. So sa preview na to, makikita natin we have an overview kung ano ba yung tsura nung shape na yon. And then we can change yung properties like nest quantity, priority, orientation, and so on. So we also have the ability to delete source as well as add external source. No? So if ever na we want to add external sources from our data panel, then we can just click the plus sign and then just click select. And then if ever na we are happy on this, we can just then click OK. Yan. So dito sa atin meron tayong tinatawag na process material library, no. So dito naman natin nakikita yung ating mga packagings and materials, no. So as you can see here, we have the ability to manipulate yung parameters, no, so that we can optimize yung ating yield. So as you can see, we can change the frame width, yung item separation, yung distances between the shapes, yung length and width ng packages, and so on. Yan. So with that, we also have the ability to create presets. So yung presets, ginagamit natin yan if ever na meron na tayong standard packages and materials na ginagamit sa ating company, then we can do a preset. So para siyang template, no, na yun na yung gagamitin natin. Yan. So if ever na we are happy on those parameters and properties, we can now then create the nest study. Yan. So as you can see here, the nest study, as we hover yung mouse natin, ipapakita naman niya yung shape na gagawin niya. And we can check the packages, the global parameters. Yan, you may have the remnant operation if we want to minimize the length or the width and both. And of course, we want to include the stock. Yan, so post ko lang dito. So itong include stock, if ever na we will do the CAM programming itself, kapag gumawa na tayo ng cutting operation, then itong stock na to will be automatically selected na yung stock, no. So yun, mapapakita naman siya later, pero this is important that we include the stock. Yan. And then if ever na okay na, let's just click OK. Yan. So makita natin dito sa left side, no, na nag-generate na yung ating nests. So it is very quick and easy naman. Yan. Yan. So as we have now the nest as well as the sheets, then we can view them separately, and of course we can also compare them na ipapakita naman later. Yan, no? So let's say itong sheet number 34, ayan. So punta lang tayo sa name view nating nested sheets. Yan. So makita natin dito, no, na itong shapes natin are automatically nested na, no. So if ever kasi na we don't have the automatic nesting, ang gagawin natin dyan, so iisa-isahin natin yan i-place dito sa ating package, so that it is gonna be very manual. But if we have the nesting and fabrication extension, then it is now automatically be nested. Yan. So as you can see here, we have different sheets pa. Yan. Yan. So, ayan, so let's check here. We can now compare yung nest. No? Ayan. So, click lang natin yung nest na gusto natin i-compare. Right-click natin, then click compare. So, dito makikita natin yung dialog box wherein makikita natin yung gusto nating i-compare na mga nest. So, let's say gusto natin i-compare by sheets. Pwede din yun. Then we can check whether kung ano yung gusto nating makita. No? Let's say nagpo-focus lang tayo sa efficiency, thickness, material, packaging cost, and so on. No? Ayan. So with that, pwede rin tayo gumamit ng table view natin or column view. And then if ever na okay na, let's just click here. Yan. So meron naman tayong preview ng mga shapes na dun sa compare view natin so that we will have parang bird's eye view no nung mga nest natin. So ngayon, tignan natin, kanina na mention ko, no, meron tayong associative testing sa Fusion 360. So ngayon, tignan natin, what if meron tayong changes na nagawa sa ating CAD model. No? So balik tayo sa design workspace ngayon. Yan. So ngayon, dito, since parametric modeling naman ng Fusion 360, we can just go to the change parameters dialog box, then change natin tong parameter na to. No? Let's say, yung gusto natin would be 26 inches. Yan. So, retain na lang natin itong isa, yung flow radius, yan. Would be 30 inches, and then click OK. So, nakita natin, no, nag-iba yung, dito sa graphics area natin, nag-iba yung ating CAD model. So, we'll just need to update all the flat patterns. Yan. Then, we'll go back to the manufacturer workspace. Yan. So, wait lang natin, bumalik sa manufacturer workspace. So, dito sa manufacturer workspace, now, makikita natin na meron tayong red warning. So, meaning ito yung mga nest studies na kailangan nating i-regenerate. Pero nakikita natin dito no, na itong nest study na to ay wala naman siyang red na warning. So, meaning hindi na natin to kailangan i-update pa. Since yung affected lang naman na change na ginawa natin sa CAD model would be the Nest 6 as well as the Nest 7. No? So it will save us time na hindi na natin kailangan i-regenerate lahat. Only those affected by the change sa ginawa natin sa ating CAD model. Yan. So click generate lang. So makita natin nag-regenerate na yung ating mga Nest studies. Then makikita na natin yung changes as we activate them. Yan. So activate natin tong sheet na to. Let's say for instance, balik tayo sa ating name view. Yan. So we can also have the ability to create reports in Fusion 360. We have default report. Meron din tayong full detailed report na wherein makikita natin doon lahat ng properties or ginawa natin doon sa nest. So let's take a look sa full report natin. Yan, no? So makikita natin dito na meron tayong full report. Let's say, for instance, yung dimensions ng ating package, yung remnants. Yan. We have the sheets. Ayan. Sheet part summary, sheet properties. If ever na we don't want this property to be shown, we can hide it. And click lang natin yung hide. And then as we save this, we can now then print this or save this as PDF. To. Ayan. So makikita natin dito naman, we can directly print this test report. Ayan. So save lang muna. Ayan. Then if ever we are happy, we can now then close this. Now let's talk about the CAM itself. No? So as I've said kanina, na yung ating Fusion 360 ay integrated CAD and CAM na. No? So makikita natin dito sa Fabrication tab natin that we can create set up from manufacturing model. No? So makikita natin na pwede natin to gawan ng cutting operations, no? Whether laser cutter, water jet, or plasma cutting, then pwede natin siya gawan dito na mismo sa pagkagawa natin ng nest. No? So ito yung sinasabi ko, no? Na automatically selected yung stock na ginawa ng Fusion 360. So we don't have to actually create the stock. So ayan. Then click OK. Yan, so punta lang tayo siguro sa mas magandang view. Click natin, programming, yan, named view. Ayan, so makikita natin na we have here sa tab natin, no, we have here the cutting operation. Yan. So we can select tools that are supported, whether it is um again water jet, laser, or plasma cutting. Yan, supported naman ng Fusion 360 kasi gagamit tayo ng plasma cutter, no. So let's say ang curve fit na gagamitin natin would be 0.0625. Ayan, then click accept. Then click select natin tong tool na to. And then ang gagawin na lang natin ngayon would be select natin yung ating contours, no. Yan, so siguro mas maganda if hide muna natin yung stock para mas ano natin yung contour. Yan, makita natin yung contours. So, as I click this itong shape na to, as you can see, select niya yung inner loops as well as yung outer loops, no. So meron tayong command sa Fusion 360 that we have select same plane faces, no. As we click this one, makikita natin na ise-select na yan lahat ng Fusion 360, no. Ayan. So as we click this, makikita natin na selected na lahat ng ating contours with the same plane face, no. So if ever kasi nawala tong command na to, ang gagawin natin diyan would be isa-select natin yan isa-isa, no? That would be very time consuming. Paano kung mas madami pa dito, no? Ayan. So with that, of course, ang gusto muna natin gawin is i-machine natin yung inner loops, no? So we have the ability to do that for us to avoid yung ating part shifting. Yan. So yan, so we can then check the heights parameters, passes tab. Ayan. So we have the linking tabs for lead in and lead outs. Yan. Then if you are happy with the parameters, we can just click OK. So magkakaroon na tayo ng ating first toolpath. So if ever na gusto naman natin i-machine yung ating outer loops, then we can just derive this operation. Then ang gagawin na lang natin dito would be changing the geometry tab from inner loops to outer loops. Ayan. Then click OK. Yan. So makikita natin dito na it will now generate the cutting operation for the outer loops. So now, no, yung Fusion 360 Nesting and Fabrication Extension, it will automatically create a sketch line para naman sa ating mga remnants, no. So ito 'yon, no, yung sketch line na to para sa ating remnants so that we will have a perfect cut or square dito sa ating package. So click lang natin tong contour na to and then yan. So siguro change natin to center compensation and then click OK. Then we can also rename this toolpath to remnant, let's say. Yan. And if we are happy, we can now then simulate first yung ating toolpath. So let's have a quick simulation. So makikita natin dito, no, na minamachine muna natin yung mga inner loops and then now yung outer loops. We can pwede natin pabilisin o papagalin yung ating simulation so that we will have a general idea kung paano ba ito i-machine sa ating mga CNC machines, no? Then overall, we can now then create the NC program for this, no? So again, yung ating post libraries naman, we can filter this, let's say water jet or plasma. Yan. So let's say ang gagawin nating machine would be this one. So click natin yung post processor na yan. So it will now automatically, it will now be selected. Then if ever now we are happy with this, then we can now create the toolpath for this. And so now makikita natin na we now generated the CNC codes. No? Ayan. Yeah, so let's talk about the overall benefits and capabilities na pinoprovide sa atin ng Nesting and Fabrication Extension. Yeah, no, so let's talk about the benefits first. So we have here avoid rework with associative nesting. No? So kanina napakita naman natin na if ever na we have changes dun sa ating CAD model, ang kailangan lang natin gawin is regenerate yung nest studies natin sa manufacture workspace natin, then magiging okay na yung lahat, no. So It is now to avoid yung ating mga human errors, yung data translation, data loss, So basically, we will have to avoid rework with integrating the CAD and CAM itself. So talking about integrated CAD and CAM, no, nakita natin kanina na yung toolpath generation natin gamit yung cutting natin sa Fusion 360 is very simplified, no? Or madali lang siya gawin. No? So basically, meron naman tayong options to easily select yung contour na with the same plane face. No? And then we have post processors na supported ng Fusion 360. Yan. So we have also here predict material usage and optimize yield. So we have the ability to create reports so that we will have and manipulate yung ating mga parameters. So we optimize yung yield, and then we have a overview of the material usage na gagamitin natin for that package. Ayan. So we also have here estimate part production cost. So kanina nakita natin no, na we have the ability to estimate yung cost na mangyayari no dun sa mga nest natin. So kahit representation lang 'yun, okay lang 'yun. So we also have here flexible setup for beginners or experts. So kanina nakita natin na if ever na we hover yung mouse natin sa mga commands, shapes, Fusion 360 will automatically create a tooltip, no? If ever na we hover yung mouse natin dun sa command, may lalabas na tooltip so that hindi na natin kailangan i-google pa no, yung command na yun. So Fusion 360 will give us tooltip kung paano ba yung ginagamit. Also, meron naman tayong mga tutorials online sa Fusion 360 help natin. That is for free. So pwede natin yung basahin or gawin yung mga tutorials there. Yan. So moving on sa capabilities, no, we have fast and easy multi-sheet nest generation. So nakita natin na yung assembly natin kanina that contains multiple parts as well as assemblies na it is fast and easy sa pag-generate ng ating mga nests. No, ayan. So we also have here no, process material management and optimization. So meron tayong command na napakita kanina na we can manipulate yung mga parameters so that we can manage yung materials as well as optimize yung ating nests. No, ayan. So kanina rin napakita natin na mayroon tayong ability to compare yung nest natin. So we have like let's say bird's eye view no ng ating mga nests so that we can compare them. Yan for easy coding. So lastly, we have comprehensive nest reports. Either we have the default reports or full reports. Then Fusion 360 can actually do that for documentation and fabrication purposes. Yan. Yan. So let's take a look at a customer success story here. Yan.
Organis manufacturing.
So confirm ko lang if may sound.
Yes, sir. Meron po.
Okay, thank you for that. So ayan, panoorin muna natin tong Ganas Manufacturing wherein ginamit nila yung Fusion 360 Nesting and Fabrication Extension.
Organis manufacturing, and we specialize in architectural millwork, metalwork, and custom furniture. Everyone is looking for a way to kind of create like a unique, inviting, space, whether it's cabinets or tables or millwork. I think we've kind of like found a good niche for ourselves on helping people like bring those dreams to reality. We've been in business for about 6.5 years now. All of our CAD engineering is done in-house. I'm big on investing in technology and want us to find a healthy balance between, shop personnel versus, our CAD department. The Fusion 360 as like a modeling software is kind of like a huge, step for us. And then with adding the CNC equipment and also the nesting and manufacturing suite, I think it's just really allowed us to streamline our manufacturing process and make changes quickly and efficiently and, make more money on projects.
We would not be able to do what we do without Fusion's nesting software. It's really increased our efficiency for sheet goods. We can now, with the CNC and with fusion nesting, we can nest parts inside of curves. If we have an outer square with an inside cutout, smaller parts nest inside of larger parts, and it's just really increased productivity and efficiency. With it all being cloud-based, it's really made it a lot simpler for us, where even if someone just happens to be out that day, like I can go in and check their files, or someone else can. If we're both working on the same project but different aspects of the project, if someone's already figured something out, like we can have a quick meeting on it and you can be like, well, check my file.
We're saving money on materials, we're cutting it more efficiently, it's cut more accurately. I think it's helpful too, like we can show up to a job site with the laptop and open up a 3D model and be like, this is what it looks like, these are the details we're thinking. Fusion 360 allows us to work directly with architects, interior designers, and clients.
Yan. So napanood natin yung company, which is the Ganas Manufacturing. So basically they used yung Fusion 360 Nesting and Fabrication Extension to reduce yung scrap nila from 25% to just 5% of any given sheet. So makita natin dito, sabi nila, previously we were using different program for nesting to make the cut lists, but that's still susceptible to human error. So Fusion 360 has eliminated those kinds of errors. Now it's 100% correct, and that's a game changer. So dito napakita din nila na ginamit nila yung cloud power ng Fusion 360, wherein they can easily collaborate with their colleagues. So if ever na merong changes in sa CAD model, then they can easily share that using the cloud. Ayan. So overall, they reduced yung scrap nila from 25% to just 5% of any given sheet. Ayan. Yeah, so if ever we want to try the Fusion 360 Nesting and Fabrication Extension, then we can scan this QR code, or we can go to this website, www.autodesk.com products Fusion 360 extensions trial. Yeah. So I think this is free for 30 days. Yeah.